checking out the funniest grandpa and grandma wins and fails. Strap in because this is gonna be a funny one. Let's get right into it. Starting off with this grandpa right here. For every Thanksgiving, he wears a free tie he got back in the 90s. And honestly, just saying, I don't know if this is the best tie to wear at Thanksgiving dinner, but it definitely is a tie and it is a style choice. This grandpa is definitely winning major W's in my book. This grandpa went to go get his passport photos done, and well, he sort of added some filters to his passport that I don't think he meant to add. At the kiosk, for some reason, you could add hair to your passport picture, and well, I don't think this grandpa meant to do this because this is definitely pressing the wrong button. But let me tell you, he's looking pretty stylish with all that hair. On the left, we have a grandma, and on the right, we have a grandpa. In between is a tree, and they're sitting on different benches. As you guys can see, these people at first glance look like they don't know each other. But in reality, these are two grandma and grandpas that are waiting for one another. The grandma on the left is waiting for grandpa on the right to be done shopping, and the grandpa on the right is waiting for grandma on the left to be done shopping. They don't even know that they're sitting in different benches. They probably just said, let's meet at that tree, and that's exactly what's happening. This is the definition of grandpa or grandma. This grandpa loves reading, and they decided for Christmas to get this grandpa a Kindle. Now, a Kindle is a device that can be used to read books off of. It's sort of like an iPad for books. Nevertheless, this grandpa, for some reason, thought that this was a giant bookmark and has been using this giant Kindle device to bookmark his pages for his books. Listen, I don't think he's doing it wrong, but he's definitely doing it wrong. He's supposed to read the books from the Kindle, not the Kindle as a bookmark for the books. A grandkid was on the phone with his grandpa when he let his grandpa know that he wanted to build his own computer. Of course, he's into gaming and he wanted to get himself a great gaming rig. A week later, the grandpa went ahead and mailed him this. We're living in 2021. The grandpa, though, is still living in the 90s.
Build your own IBM, compatible, and save a bundle.
I'm not even sure how he even still has this magazine pamphlet thing, but somehow he does, and oh my gosh, is it sad that I actually remember PCs being like this? Probably. Many of you guys watching, let me know, have you ever seen a PC like this? Oh man, I feel old. On to the next one. Am I a grandpa? This tweet reads, I was behind a grandmother who was apparently visiting Starbucks for the first time. The barista said, "Can I get your name for your drink?" She looked very confused and said, "I guess I'll just call it Bob." She didn't understand that the lady was gonna write her name on the drink. The grandma just made up a name to call the drink. Honestly, that's pretty great. Not gonna lie. Imagine a grandma just naming a drink Bob. This is someone's grandmother. And would you believe it if I told you that this is the first photo that they decided to upload on their brand new Facebook page? That's right. Somehow this grandma thought this was a beautiful photo and decided to upload this as their profile picture. I'm not sure why this even happened, but it did, and honestly, I sort of love it. Speaking of things we love, everyone loves Minecraft, all right? Maybe you might be a hater, you might be more of a Roblox guy or girl, or maybe it was never your thing, but come on. Minecraft has a special place in everyone's heart. You gotta give it a shot. It's pretty fun, trust me. And this grandma thought that her grandchild's Minecraft sword was a cross. That's right. She thought this was a religious cross to be hung up in her house. Little did she know, this is an iron sword in Minecraft. And let me tell you, that's a lot of work to get this bad boy. She's lucky it wasn't diamond because then it would have a lot more value. Back in 2008, a grandchild let their grandmother know that they do Uber for a living. The grandmother was super confused and said, well, I want to be a good grandmother, so I got you a gift. The grandmother proceeded to get the grandchild this gift, a 2018 weekly pocket planner. Now, the grandmother, not knowing what Uber is, thought this would really help her with her Uber appointments. And honestly, it's a really sweet gesture, but she doesn't know how technology works. And honestly, you don't need a pocket planner for Uber because she thought it was Uber appointments. Oh gosh, someone's got to tell grandma how Uber works. I bet if she used Uber, she would think somebody was kidnapping her. She'd be so confused. They'd be like, hi, we're here for Gwendolyn. And then she would just be like, ah, how do you know my name? She'd be very confused for sure. Grandmas are very confusing sometimes. As you guys can see from this packaging, well, this isn't exactly food for humans. Well, this is hamster food. Yep. That's right. Grandma didn't know that this was hamster food, to be honest. She had no clue. She ate the hamster food thinking it was trail mix. I swear, sometimes grandmas and grandpas be on a wild freaking ride. They have no idea what they're doing, and somehow grandma decided this was a delicious treat before bed. Found out this was not a trail mix, grandma. You don't want to be going ahead and eating that bad boy. As you can see, this is a mask, and everyone lately has been wearing masks, so have I when I go out, and well, this grandma was rocking this mask. And the cashier asked, "Why are you wearing that mask?" And the grandma responded, "I love gardening." Little did she know, on her face was not a gardening leaf. This is not necessarily a leaf that she grows in her back garden, but as you guys know, no one really told her, and well, yep, she was rocking this mask for a few weeks. This is a grandpa. I know, not the best picture of a grandpa, but he's sort of on his knees right now. You're probably wondering yourself, Garrett, why is this grandpa on his knees? Well, his grandchild recently got him a lovely gift to clean the house. It's a vacuum. It's actually called a Roomba. And this Roomba was cleaning the house, but grandpa was very suspicious. He did not believe that this Roomba was actually a vacuum, and it was actually a spy working for the government. So the grandpa, as this Roomba was vacuuming, kept a close eye on the Roomba to make sure it wasn't planting any suspicious devices around the house. Somehow, this grandpa ended up coming to realize it's just a vacuum and now trusts the Roomba. That is a great story. For weeks, this grandchild was looking for their fisheye lens for their iPhone. This is a lens you can clip onto your iPhone to get a really nice dramatic effect of a fish lens, right? Fisheye. It makes it look a little bit different. This, how I look right now, is what a fisheye would technically look like if I had a fisheye lens. And lo and behold, they found it on a bag of cereal that their grandparents used to clip the seal of the cereal. That's right. They wanted to keep it fresh, so this is what they did. And honestly, it's a little confusing, but it worked. As you guys know, most TVs are going smart. That's right. They got big brains in those TVs. Well, not like that, but that's just okay. Anyways, a lot of parents and grandparents really can't figure out how these smart TVs work because on a remote, you got all these buttons, and honestly, it's a little confusing with these smart TVs, but this kid figured it out. They went ahead and wrapped their grandparents' remote with all this tape, simply just showcasing only the buttons they need to press. The on button to turn it on and off, and the input button to change between cable and Apple TV. And honestly, I'm really proud of them. This is 2000 IQ. This is how you go ahead and micromanage your grandparents to make sure they don't mess anything up. And I love it. It's like taking care of them and making sure they watch all their favorite shows without having to go visit them every single day. If you're a big Star Wars fan, right away, you're probably very confused. This grandma legit thought that this was Jesus. Now, if you have watched the Star Wars series, then you will know that this man right here is not Jesus. But you can't tell grandma differently. She's convinced that this is Jesus with a prosthetic hand. It's a little confusing, but grandma's happy, and that's all that matters. This is a stubborn grandma, but in reality, this is exactly what these moving platforms are for. They're so that you can like get from point A to point B, but I don't think she meant to take up the entire walkway, but she did. And she just did not care. She was not willing to move. Once a grandma or grandpa is stubborn, they're stubborn and no one can tell them differently. Sometime last year, masks were really hard to get. So this grandma got creative and she made her own. And honestly, I don't know if they look really great, but grandma really tried her best. She made masks for the entire family and well, they look a little creepy, I'm not gonna lie. I don't think this is really necessary, but hey, it looks like they're made from underwear. I hope they're not grandma's underwear. This is a picture someone posted on their Facebook, and a random mom posted,
"That's my son!"
which is a little confusing. Later on, finding out, my son just called me. That is not him. She legit thought that this was her kid. This is a thing. Moms, grandmas, grandpas, dads. Yep. They're all a little bit out of whack sometimes. Just saying. Of course, though, if you enjoyed today's video, be sure to drop a like. If you're new around here, hit that subscribe button. And I'll see you guys tomorrow with a brand new one. Bye, guys.